Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Best and Worst of Walt Disney World. Today we are going to talk about our don't miss things, not just attractions, at Disney's Magic Kingdom in Orlando. And of course, I am joined by my associate producer, Mr. Oliver Green.
Hello, everyone.
So these are basically what we decided to do was things that whenever we go into the Magic Kingdom, these are things we really have to do. Now, for us, we're fortunate that we live right here in Orlando, and so going to the Magic Kingdom is a pretty regular occurrence for us. So, kind of bear that in mind as you listen to these. And some of these are pretty obvious. I think these are on a lot of people's don't miss list at the Magic Kingdom. But for me, especially in recent years, I have become a massive fan of the Haunted Mansion. My office is completely decked out in nothing but Haunted Mansion artwork and memorabilia. I find stuff on eBay. So I love the Haunted Mansion. So I cannot go to the Magic Kingdom without going to the Haunted Mansion. So that is the first thing. And this is in no particular order, but that is the first thing on my don't miss list. The Haunted Mansion. It's awesome. I love it out in Disneyland as well. It's another place when I'm out in Disneyland. That's something, because there are some differences, not many, but a few. But Haunted Mansion is certainly top of my list, things I have to do when I go to the Magic Kingdom. What about you?
I agree with you. Haunted Mansion it didn't make it onto my list, but I can see why it would be up there. It's a very popular attraction. I like it a lot. What I've got at the top of my list, though, is Wishes, the fireworks at the end of the night. I know this seems like an obvious one, but so many people will hit the parks early and they will always manage to miss it. Wishes is the perfect ending to a perfect day. It's not easy to, when we go as often as we do, it's not very easy to impress us. And when you see something as often as you do, I hate to say it, but honestly, sometimes the magic can slightly wear off. So it's never the same as the first time you see it. Wishes is the opposite. I can stand there and watch Wishes every single time, and every time I will enjoy it, and I will... It takes my breath away. I know it sounds like I'm almost overselling it. I don't want to come across like that at all, but no, Wishes is... it's something magical. It really is.
And I agree. Wishes is definitely hashtag never gets old.
Yes.
For me, every time I see it, I say the same thing. God, I will never get tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
It is, in my opinion, the best fireworks show at Walt Disney World. Arguably the best of any Disney park, although I thought Disneyland's 60th anniversary fireworks were right up there. But... for me, it's a little more specific because Wishes is on my list as well, except It's Wishes from the middle of Main Street.
Ah, okay.
In the Magic Kingdom. There, I think for me, that's where I get the full effect.
Yeah.
I have watched Wishes from other areas around the park. I've watched Wishes from the Contemporary. I've watched it from the Polynesian. I've watched it from the beach at Fort Wilderness. I've watched it from a number of different locations over the years. Nothing quite captures it like being in the middle of Main Street and not too far down. If you're at Casey's, you've gone too far. So about halfway up, right in the middle of Main Street. It's a beautiful view of the castle. You get kind of see everything that goes on around it. And also because Wishes is normally toward the end of the night, a lot of people leave the park at that point. If you're one of them, you're well positioned at that point to turn around and leave and kind of get a jump on folks before the monorail and the boats and the buses start getting crazy. So for me, Wishes is on my list. It wasn't next on my list, but since it's on yours, I thought I'd mention that. Mm-hmm. But I'll move on to my next one.
Okay.
Kind of piggybacking on Haunted Mansion. My favorite store at the Magic Kingdom is Memento Mori, which is the store that was opened recently or in the last few years. That's all Haunted Mansion merchandise. I wish Disney would do this more with other attractions. And it's done very well. I was really afraid when they first opened this that it was going to be something that, a few people were going to like, but it wasn't going to do the kind of volume that would justify Disney making this a regular, a permanent fixture. And, for a number of years, Disney just started homogenizing the merchandise where everything was Disney Parks merchandise
Yeah.
And what you found in Liberty Square was the same thing you found in the Disney store. The World of Disney at Downtown Disney was the same thing you found in the Emporium on Main Street. And so to see a store open up that was all this really unique, individualized merchandise just for the Haunted Mansion, I love it. So I never fail to go in that store every time I'm in the Magic Kingdom just to see if there's anything new.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. It went out of my mind when creating this list. It really did. I don't know why, but no, I love that place. It's one of those places where I step into and everything they've got on sale in there, I could just grab a bag and just scoop it off the shelves and I'd be happy with absolutely everything I took home.
Agreed.
And not to mention the other thing that you can do in there, the death portrait,
which we had done.
We have, yeah, we both had that done, and that hangs in my office actually at home. Yeah, and it's amazing. That's something I think it's about $35 per person.
I forgot, it's something like that, but it's a picture they take.
Yep.
Where it's kind of one of those 3D pictures. So looking at it head on, it's your portrait, but if you move it slightly or you move slightly, it becomes like,
death,
basically. You see your skeleton. And it's a really cool effect.
Yep.
It's a very unique souvenir, only done there.
Yeah.
Only done there. And so I again, just there's all sorts of cool. It's a small shop, but there's all sorts of cool little things in there. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You can find something in there. Really, if you want to get somebody a very unique souvenir from Walt Disney World, Memento Mori, just outside of Haunted Mansion, is one of my do not miss locations.
Yeah.
What's next on your list?
Next on my list, I actually have the Castle projection show, which is called Celebrate the Magic. It's a very simple. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a show that's projected onto the castle. It's very, very simple in what it is. It's 3D projectors that take Disney films and different, I'd say, iconic scenes from Disney history, and will mix them all together, blend them seamlessly into a video and project it onto the castle itself. And they run this normally twice every night. I think it's only once during quieter times, but at busier times, which is pretty much all the time, they'll run it twice throughout the night because it's very easy for them to do. And it's unmissable. It's one of those things that even when I experience it now, it has that moment where it's like, oh yeah, it reminds me why I enjoy and I love this place as much as I do, and why I'm so passionate about it. It's such a nice ending to a day, and it breaks up the time that you wait for the fireworks or the parade at the end of the day, the Main Street Electrical Parade, whilst it's still here. Yeah, it's just a really, really nice thing that can be experienced by the whole family, and everyone can enjoy it.
Okay. It did not make my list. It is not one of my favorite things. I mean, I've sat there and I've watched it, and it's okay. It is what it is. But that was something, the first time I saw the castle projection being done was Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then we started doing it here, and wow, that's amazing. But then after the second or third time, it doesn't have the same impact for me that Wishes does, where I watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
And I say, this never gets old. For me, the castle projection has gotten old. But another thing on my list that's kind of an obvious one, but again, one of my favorite attractions, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a must-do attraction for me whenever I'm in the Magic Kingdom. Although I will say, our Pirates is a sad second to Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. That it's a much longer ride in Disneyland. It's a much more intricate ride in Disneyland. But still, I just love it. I love it. I do not like the fact that they are using the boats here that were designed for Disneyland in California, and as a result, if you are in the first seat or even the second seat in some cases, you're going to get soaked because we have the drop.
Yeah.
You go down the drop before the ride really gets into gear. And there was a time you may get splashed a little bit, but when they switch to these other cars, you get soaked.
Yeah.
And it's not the kind of ride you want to get soaked on. So where I used to always sit in the front seat, I now wait for the back seat on Pirates. So little tip, if you're going and doing Pirates, rows 3, 4, or 5. 1 or 2, you're very, very low. If you're in the first row, you're getting wet, period. End of sentence. You're getting wet. Second row, you might get some of it. but 3, 4, and 5, you're pretty safe. But Pirates, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's such a well done attraction. I think it's my favourite dark ride attraction at Magic Kingdom. It ties so many elements together so well. And I've heard from so many people as well that it doesn't compare to the Disneyland version, but I've not yet ridden the Disneyland version, so I certainly will. But to me, it's so I love it. It's so well done. And after I think it was about a year ago, they did some updates where they redid the costumes and updated the system.
Well, they
where
added,
the smells come through.
they had. I know a few years ago they added the Johnny Depp character, the Captain Jack Sparrow, which some of the best animatronics.
Spot on. Oh yeah.
I mean, phenomenally done.
Yeah.
So. But what's next on your list?
Okay, so on my list, it's the Meet Mickey Mouse at the Town Square Theatre. So you can meet characters all over the place.
No, I've never done this.
Really? Oh, see, it's very, very good because it's, you know what it is. It's the experience where you can meet Mickey Mouse and he actually talks to you. He will interact with you.
You don't find that creepy? You don't find the whole talking Mickey a little creepy?
See, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up with Mickey. No, not at all. I find talking animals creepy. I can't stand the talking animals on Splash Mountain. Makes my skin crawl. But Mickey here it's the stuff nightmares are made of. It really is. It's terrifying. But no, Mickey talking's fine. It's a nice experience, and it takes it up a level. You can see the progression and the details that Disney go into with something that you wouldn't expect. You expect attractions to be upgraded.
Knowing that Mickey Mouse will talk to you, I'm too tempted to say something inappropriate and see what his reaction is.
Not to ruin the magic, but he's only got a list of responses back, so he's not.
That's how they control it. Okay. All right. Last on my list. I know some people will be like, "Oh," but a place I don't eat there every time I'm in the Magic Kingdom, but almost every time. Casey's Corner. I love the hot dogs at Casey's. I know they're kind of greasy and a little nasty, and they're not the best hot dogs in the world. I don't know if it's kind of Mickey bar syndrome where, a Mickey bar outside of the Magic Kingdom is just an average ice cream bar, but inside the Magic Kingdom, it's the most amazing thing ever. It's the same thing with Casey's Corner for me that I love. And I'm not even talking about the chili cheese, bacon, stop your heart hot dog. I'm talking about just a hot dog. Just give me a hot dog from Casey's. I'll put some mustard and some ketchup, and I'm a happy man.
I can see that. I enjoy the hot dogs at Casey's. I'm often put off by the big crowds that are in there, but I don't know whether it's going to make it, whether it, deserves a spot on that list.
I like to go later, like right before the park closes, and because there's very few lines, and you can get in and out, and it's just, usually by that time I probably haven't eaten dinner and I'm hungry, or I ate dinner early and I'm hungry and I want a snack before I leave. I've done that many, many times. I love Casey's Corner. I
think this is one of those things that's probably just very, very special to you.
It is. Well, that's why I'm at my list. Is my don't mix. It's not anybody else's. This is what when I go into the Magic Kingdom, these are the things that are on my list almost all the time that I do.
It's definitely it's the Mickey bar thing. It's just it's the hot dog delusion.
Judgy McJudgerson back there with your judgy eyes and your judginess. Mr. Castle Projection Show.
Hey, I enjoy the Castle Projection. You can't get the Castle Projection Show outside Magic Kingdom. You can get a hot dog.
You can get it outside. They do it in Disneyland.
I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Small world.
I can't go down like 192 and be like, oh, there's a Castle Projection Show. I can go down 192 and find a hot dog.
You can go down 192 and find a prostitute. Doesn't mean you should. He's literally sitting there judging me on my don't miss. Fine, I just won't go into the Magic Kingdom with you.
It's what's special.
I'll eat a nice hot dog while you starve. Judgy McJudgerson.
I like the hot dogs there. I just want to put it on my top list. That's all.
All right, what's last on your list?
I've got two. We've managed to skip over one somehow. What's next on my list is this is going to create some sort of controversy. It's the Be Our Guest restaurant. I think the Be Our Guest restaurant is a fantastic experience. You get so immersed in there.
It is. I think it's wonderful. I just think it's overrated.
See, I agree. I agree with you in the case that a lot of people go crazy for the reservations. They do. They go nuts for these reservations, like almost a bit too much. Like they're going to get handed a solid gold bar at the end of it or something. But I can see why they're passionate about it, because it is a once in a lifetime experience for especially any young children that are fans of the film. You do get so immersed in that environment, and you get
Agreed.
the chance to meet Belle and meet the Beast at the end, and on top of that the food is very, very good. So normally it's one or the other. It's either a good character experience, or a good theming location, or good food. This has all three, so I can really see why people do go for that.
So this is why you're making fun of Casey's, because that was on Be Our Guest was on my overrated list. And he's like bitter about that.
Yeah.
All right. So what else? Well, said you had
and my last one. Yeah, we managed to skip over. This is my number 5, not the 5th best. It's just the 5th one on my list. It's the Main Street Confectionery. So it just smells good. Everything in there tastes good. It's one of those things that I just if you're going to visit the Magic Kingdom, you have to go in there, even if you're not going to buy anything.
I love the Main Street Confectionery as well. It just, as a diabetic, it's just...
I can see how that could be a challenge, yeah.
Not something every so often when I decide I'm going to indulge a little bit, I'll go in there and I'll get something. But generally speaking, it's the kind of place I just avoid because it's torture. Because some of that stuff just looks so amazing.
It is, and they do a really good job. What I will say, though, and this was my honourable mention... it's not my favourite place to buy baked goods in Magic Kingdom. My favourite place is Big Top Souvenirs. I love that.
No, that's phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Same thing, though, for me. It's it's diabetic coma city.
Yeah. The only reason I said the confectionery is because it's so iconic. It's on Main Street. It smells so good. But no, if you're going to buy something, go to Big Top Souvenirs because they sell everything, and it's great. I love it in there.
So there it is. There is our list of don't miss things at the Magic Kingdom. Please share with us down in the comments what things you don't want to miss when you hit the Magic Kingdom are. And that'll do it for this episode of Best and Worst of Walt Disney World. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks.